Should we talk about the big Seagate ban?
Yeah.
Or rather, the fine for violating an export ban. I feel like I've done all the
intense.
topics up till now.
Seagate Technology Holdings has admitted to wrongdoing and agreed to pay a $300 million fine to settle allegations that it sold 7.4 million hard disks to Huawei, violating a 2020 export ban. This is the largest single administrative penalty ever levied by the U.S. Commerce Department's Bureau of Industry and Security, and it is meant to represent double the estimated profit Seagate accrued from the illicit sales. Seagate's annual net income for 2022 was $1.6 billion, and their estimated profit from sales was a period, because we don't have that note. I'm not sure what happened there.
Yeah.
But profits
probably
can be a lot less than
150
rev.
million based on that the settlement was meant to be double the expected profits.
That makes sense.
So we can solve for X here. Let's go.
Yeah, very good. Some background information. In August of 2020, the U.S. Commerce Department expanded export restrictions against Huawei after they allegedly tried to obtain advanced technologies to undermine U.S. national security. While Huawei's two other primary suppliers stopped shipments, Seagate continued sales for 11 months as Huawei's sole supplier. Seagate even extended multiple lines of credit worth $1 billion to Huawei to help them purchase more hard drives. And to be clear, everyone knew that this export ban was going on.
Oh, yeah.
It was like
The biggest
all of
news.
the news. Yeah.
Yeah.
We talked about it on Wan's show. That's even like probably one of the smaller ones. Talked about like every news agency. They 100% knew what they were doing.
So here's what I want to know. On the one hand, I think you and I probably both agree that if a corporation breaks the law, the fine should be such that it really isn't worth it to break that law again.
Yeah.
And I think we would probably agree that this is positive in that sense. But here's my problem with it, is that it sort of comes across, maybe not hypocritical, but I guess the cynic in me looks at this and goes, so it turns out that you do know how to properly punish this sort of behavior when you actually care. But when the transgression is against the individual user, it's like, I don't know, $4 per user, class action, whatever. Actually, most of it just goes to the lawyers. This seems like a good system.
Yeah.
Where is this justice for individual users, particularly when it comes to data privacy or when it comes to other rights violations? How is it that, someone like a TransUnion, man, I remember being so mad. TransUnion's own website, back when I had to sign up for credit monitoring because something, my insurance wouldn't cover me unless I had credit monitoring, something. It doesn't matter. The point is I had to have this stupid service that I signed up for credit monitoring because of some identity something incident that took place, and TransUnion's own website had a help article talking about the importance of two-factor, and at the time TransUnion's own accounts didn't support two-factor. I pointed this out to the rep and they're just like, And how many breaches have they suffered? And so
I know of at least one, yeah.
And we're not talking breaches of trivial things, right? Like, nothing's trivial. Nothing's trivial when it comes to personal data. But we're talking, SIN numbers, which are our equivalent of an SSN, right? A social security number. These are things that, while technically can be changed, are a royal pain in the butt to change and can be extremely beneficial to ne'er-do-wells, right? Like there's databases out there that are going to have basically every piece of information that you could ever want to keep out of people's hands pretty much across the board at this point, because nobody is actually punishing this stuff in a way that is meaningful and forces them to take data security seriously. I mean, we went through, this was an interesting conversation. I was complaining to Luke about how our new password manager takes a long time to open. And he was like, well, let me tell you about that. That's because they are actually decrypting it. The reason our old password manager was so fast was because it wasn't being stored at all times in an encrypted manner. And I'm like, Oh,
Security
well,
is
that's
better.
freaking amazing then.
Yeah, the usability of the stuff we're using now is genuinely worse in like a lot of ways, in my opinion. But theoretically, it's more secure.
So on the one hand, yeah, I'm happy. But on the other hand, no, I'm actually like pretty pissed off, right? Because this is just yet another double standard. And I'm just kind of tired of it. So yeah, show us you actually mean business. There. Dan, that just still says the thing we're doing. We did too.
Way to go,
Dan's
Dan.
keeping us in line.
It's supposed to be additional topics.
Additional ones.
Yeah,
As
you can
opposed
do
to
as
what?
many as you want until I tell you to do something else.
Oh,
Oh.
all right.